What's up, everybody? Hey, this is Phil from Walmart. How you guys doing? It's so weird. I used to, just post on TikTok. So the camera again was up there. It was vertical, and I was able to look up. And now I got to look over here. It's really weird. It's strange, but I'll get back to it. Hey, this week I'm going to do a weekly roundup, and then kind of do a quick little review of my time here at Walmart. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, because you might be thinking of coming to Walmart and you might want to know what my experience has been over my time here. So my weekly roundup, I go out on Thursdays and I go home on Mondays. So I'm out 5 days and 4 nights. I started my day in Sacramento. That's where I am domiciled. So I have an assigned truck based on my schedule, and I named her Pegasus. In case you're just tuning in for the very first time, everybody on TikTok knew this, but I'm coming back to my roots, like I said, on here. And so I got dispatched out of the yard with a load, and inside the load was 3 stores. One was for Sacramento, one was for Jackson, California, and the other one was for Manteca, California. Okay, so after that, they sent me over to Clorox in Fairfield to pick up a backhaul. Boy, was that a doozy. Trying to get any straight answers out of these people this time around was just nuts. You go to one place and then you check in, and usually that's where they do the live load, but they also have another yard right next door that does the drop-in hook, and it turns out mine was a drop-in hook. Okay, so he sent me over there. The guard there had no clue what he was doing. You would think that they just put him in the yard, in the shack tonight, and left him alone and said, have fun. And he just couldn't, whatever. But we finally worked it out, and we figured it out, and we got the load, and I got out of there. Thank goodness. And that load I needed to take up to Red Bluff. That's one of our DCs up in Northern California. So I took that up there, and on the way there, they dispatched me with a Refresco load. Now, Refresco is down in Southern California, and the way we've been handling those loads is we've been taking them sometimes straight from Southern California. It's like right out of San Bernardino area is where the Refresco is, and we've been taking it straight to, like, say, Grandview, Washington, for example. Other times we relay it up to Red Bluff, and another driver takes it the rest of the way. So one driver will pick it up from Refresco, bring it up to Red Bluff, park it in the yard. Another driver will come in, grab it, and take it up to Grandview. Well, this was my part of it, is somebody already brought it up to Red Bluff, and I had to take it the rest of the way to Grandview, Washington, which is another one of our grocery DCs up in Washington State. And so off I went. I got all the way to Weed that night. Weed, California, and laid over in Weed. When I got up in the morning, I decided to take Highway 97 through Bend and Redmond and Madras, and then up over the Columbia River Gorge. 97 takes you all the way to basically Granger, Washington, and then backtrack to the DC there in Grandview. And then from there, they gave me a load out of there to our Richland, Washington store. And normally they give you a dispatch with a round trip, right? So you're going to go from the DC out to the store and back to the DC. Not this time. And it happens like this every once in a while, because they're not sure what time you're going to be ready and available. They want to see it. Like, give them an ETD after you get your load, and then we'll figure out something else for you. And so I picked up the load out of Grandview, and off I went, and I updated my ETD, estimated time of departure. out of the store, right? And so I'm driving, and I still haven't heard my device go off. So I'm thinking, am I going to get a load? And then I'm coming down 182, getting closer to the store, and I notice, hey, there's a movie theater right there by the store. Okay, let's pull in. And I started thinking to myself, it'd be cool to go see a movie tonight. It's Friday night. Why not, right? So I pull into the store, set up, back up, and I'm looking at my device, still no dispatch. And I told myself in my head, Phil, if they don't give you a dispatch by the time you get this load unloaded, just shut down. Just don't even bother. Don't even bother calling. You got 400 plus miles, 485 miles for the day. You don't need to do any more. Just shut down and go see a movie. And so while I was in there unloading or getting unloaded, I'm on the phone looking at the theater, looking at movie times and what's playing and what the next show time is. And I'm like, bet I can go see that one. Well, let's see if they give me a dispatch. What do you know? I got done and I got unloaded. I go back to the truck and still no dispatch. Well, okay. Well, tink, 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 tink. Changed my ETD for the next day and went to the movies. That's right. Went to the movies. Midweek. Why not, right? Well, midweek for me. It was a Friday night, but it is what it is. All right, so then got up in the morning. Now I have a dispatch. And they want me to take my empty reefer back to the DC. Okay. And then they dispatched me with a empty reefer, from there to go up to Moses Lake, which is a chicken egg farm, right? Egg farm up there. Pick up a load of eggs. Now I could have picked up the phone and said, "Hey, you sure you want me to go to the DC? I have a reefer. Why am I going to the DC?" And then I started thinking, you know what? I need fuel, so might as well just go to the DC and get some fuel. And so I went and got the fuel and got up and got my eggs and came back. On my way back, they decided to give me a load to Sunnyside, Washington, and then off to Yakima, Washington. Now, I've been to the store in Yakima before, but not this store in Yakima. And I've never been to the Sunnyside, which is like 10 miles, not even 10 miles from the DC. So go hop, skip, and a jump Sunnyside, then skip up to Yakima, and then I came back and updated my ETD and came back, and I was able to get a load out of there, and I was able to get out of there and get down to Biggs Junction. Now the load they gave me was Hood River and then to Redmond, Oregon. Hood River, Oregon, Redmond, Oregon. And they're starting to work me back down because I go home on Monday and it's Saturday night, so they got to give me a load that's going to kind of start working me back down. So today was Sunday, and I woke up in Biggs and went over to Hood River, got that unloaded, and then headed up by Mount Hood. I love Mount Hood. I used to live right up there. Not Mount Hood, but I used to live in Oregon, Northeast Portland, and then Gresham area. I loved it. Mount Hood was the first time I'd ever been skiing. My roommate said, "Hey, let's go skiing." And I said, "I've never been." He goes, "Let's go." And we went. We went to Mount Hood, which is pretty cool. So go there, and on the way back, from Hood River, there's two ways in which you can go. You can take I-84 all the way back to Biggs and then go up 97, and that'll take you to Redmond. Or you can go just a little bit on I-84 and get more into the Hood River area and then head up the hill on Highway 35. Highway 35, whew, that goes uphill, and it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Then you start getting closer to Mount Hood, and it's winter, and there's snow on the ground. So Now, there was snow on the ground off to the sides, and sometimes it got a little narrow, but for the most part, the road was very clean and clear for you to drive on. There's still some people going and doing their snow bunny type stuff, and so you have that traffic going on. And 35 takes you to 26. 26 takes you over to 97, and it's just a gorgeous drive. And so I went over to Redmond. I'm supposed to do a drop and hook. Now you drop the full trailer, whatever's left of the trailer, right? And then take whatever's empties there. Well, on the grocery side, there was only one other trailer there, and it had pallets in it. So I have to make a phone call. I just can't choose to take the pallets unless I talk to somebody. So I called down to Red Bluff, which is where I was going to go after getting my empty. And when I pulled it off the door, it had pallets in it. So let them know, hey, do you guys work the pallet load for Redmond? And she's like, yes, we do. Meaning certain DCs are assigned to certain stores and making sure that the pallets get picked up, right? They're supposed to get like an email or whatever from the store saying, hey, we have a pallet load, and then they're supposed to work to get somebody assigned to go get it, right? Maybe the driver that's going there with GM or whatever, right? Whoever is going to go there is got to get assigned. And so she's like, yeah, okay, boom. And she redid the dispatch and got me the pallet load. And then from there, I hightailed it down to Red Bluff with those pallets, and because we have a Pro Pack on site there in Red Bluff. And then I didn't get a dispatch on my way, so I made a phone call. I called Red Bluff DC and I said, hey, can you let me know if I'm dispatched yet? She pulls up my driver number. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, well, can you work on that for me? I just want to kind of turn and burn. So shortly after we got off the phone, ding ding, I got the dispatch, and I got a Fairfield load, and then from there pick up pallets from Fairfield, take it to West Sac. That was my week so far. So that's for tomorrow. That's Monday. I'm just a little bit out of Corning. I had to get my truck washed over there at the Streak and Beacon, and then I decided to shut down, have dinner. Why not? And then I'll deliver this in the morning. It's not due till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and as long as I get it there by 2 o'clock, I'm golden. And it's not that far. It's probably another 120 miles. Excuse me. Wow, where did that come from? About another 120 miles. And anyway, so then from there to West Sac, and I'll probably hit them up for extra work, because that's just going to be a short day if I do that. I mean, I could go home, whatever. All right, so that was my week. Now, some of you guys have been watching going, wow, can you believe it's almost been 4 years since I started my first YouTube video? Almost 4 years. I started with Walmart in April of 2021, and here we are, January of 2025. So a few more months and I'll have 4 completed years at Walmart. What is my opinion of Walmart? I love Walmart. I love driving here. From my management background, if you ever watched any of my older videos, you'll know that I was in management at one point, and I left management for a reason. I still wear that management hat from time to time, and I sit here and I critique some of the things that they do or don't do. And so that has either maybe made me respected or maybe made made them not want to respect me at all. They're like, dang, here comes Phil, watch out, he's gonna have something to say. But I always do it professionally, and I try to look out for not just myself, but for other drivers as well, even though they don't want to be looked out for. I'm looking out for them as much as I'm looking out for me. But some of them are small safety issues. Some are a little stronger safety issues. But I will say, when I have addressed them in the professional manner in which we're supposed to, they have been receptive and they have taken action, if that makes sense. So it's not just, oh, well, here comes Phil with a safety issue again, and ignore me. They do take action on those safety concerns. So I got to hand it to them. I did have to, prompt them on a couple occasions to stay on it, right? I had to be like a bulldog at one point, but for the most part, they've adjusted and mitigated the safety hazards to the most part. Not all the way. One of them I'm still working on. There's a particular issue at a store that I just rehashed because I don't go to this store very often, and another driver brought it to my attention what they did to mitigate it, and I'm not happy with it. And so I brought it back up and said, look, this is not the way we should mitigate this. Somebody's going to get hurt. Anyway, but what I really love about working here is I described my whole week to you. I've never, all week, haven't talked to my management once. Not once. And the only time I've talked to the other people is, hey, can I get a load? When I shut down, I made that decision to shut down and go see a movie. My load was delivered, so I heard nothing. They didn't go, well, you still had 2 hours left. Why did you shut down? Well, because you didn't give me a dispatch. I mean, they didn't ask, right? They didn't say anything, is what I'm trying to get at. The only other time I talk to them is, hey, I'm here to pick up my paperwork, driver number, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. That is it. I don't have any really bad interactions with management that would, make a bad day. The store associates, for the most part, Washington has some really good store associates. So I'm going to tell you right now, Washington has the stores I went to this week in Washington, Johnny on the spot. They were awesome. Get some other stores in California, not so much. They don't want to answer the door. They're not around. There's nobody there. You got to find somebody. So there are some downsides to some stores. But they're still nice enough, and once you do locate the person that is supposed to unload your trailer, I do like the fact that we don't unload. I do like the fact that maintenance wise our equipment is in good running order. Pegasus has been awesome, and I do miss Wally a little bit, but Pegasus is a 2025, and I'll have her for a while, right? So Wally came in, and I took over payments, so to speak, right? So near the end, Wally started having some little issues here, little issues there, nothing major, but the only thing major was Wally was my previous truck that I was assigned to. It was a 2020 Freightliner. Had a radiator on the top that cracked, and they had to replace the radiator. So that was the only time that she went on the hook to be towed back to the yard. She did get she got a broken windshield. That was a problem, obviously, because it was cracked all the way across. But no, man, they've been really good about how they're treating us, right? And the pay has been good too, right? Now, people that I've talked to on the other social media platform, they always ask, what do you take home? Well, I don't talk about what I take home. I will talk about, my gross, if you want to know how much a Walmart driver can make. But I want to stress this out. I want to stress this point. Walmart drivers make what they want to make. In what I mean by that is, I don't have to work as hard as I do. I could easily dial it down just a notch or two and still be one of the top performers. I feel that I'm up near the top of our location there in Sacramento, and I feel that. I don't know if I am, but I feel like I perform really well. Meaning, I've in the almost 4 years, I've never had a late to a store that was driven by my error or my mistake. It was more due to weather, that they've given me a load that was already dead in the water before I got it, kind of thing. But nothing that was caused by me taking a long break or falling asleep or taking a longer nap or whatever, and not paying attention to time or whatever. I've never caused a load to be late myself. So that's good. And I've never had a preventable accident. I shouldn't talk about that, but I haven't had one. And so my miles are up high. I'm a high mileage driver. So my performance numbers are well above average. So what I mean by all that is that means my pay is usually a little bit more than average, right? And what they advertise for $95,000 to $110,000 per year for the first year, for first year drivers here at Walmart, that is very doable if you're thinking about that, right? That's very doable working less than I work. If you work more towards what I do, you're going to make more than that for sure. But I run my clock down most of the time. This week was an exception to the rule, because again, I could have, after I got Pegasus washed, I could have got like another 70 miles. I just didn't want to, right? I just didn't want to. I put in 525 miles for the day. I didn't need to get another 70, right? So I could have, and I could have made more for the day, right? But didn't want to. I already exceeded the expectation, so didn't need to. And that's the good thing is, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Walmart wants 3 things from you. 3 things as a driver. Work and drive safe. That's number 1. Work safe meaning don't get hurt. Watch where you're walking. Use 3 points, 4 points of contact. 4 points being your eyes. Look before you step, kind of thing. Watch where you're walking. Don't get hurt, right? Don't get physically hurt. They don't want you hurt. Number 2 of that part is in the work safe, drive safe. Don't back into things. Get out and do your 360 and prevent yourself from getting into a situation where you're going to back into something. So work safe. Number 2 on there is deliver the loads on time. Know when your load is due and deliver it on time. For example, the load I have right now, I know it's due no later than 2 o'clock because it is a GM load. Now, if it was a grocery load like I had earlier today, it's due between 9 and 8 p.m. for the first store, and 9 and say 23:59 for the second store. Know when they're due and deliver them on time. The last part of that is number 3. When 1 and 2 are not possible, or you don't feel that it's possible to do, that you cannot deliver on time for whatever reason, you got caught in traffic, there's a bad accident and you're stuck, you had a breakdown, whatever it might be, you're not feeling good. You're feeling sick, right? You need to rest. You need to communicate this to them ahead of time, before the load is going to be late, right? You know you're caught in traffic. You could look at it. You're a driver. I'm not going to make it. Don't wait till you get to the store and then, maybe the next day or whatever, or 3 days later or 4 days later, and go wait for them to come to you and go, hey, why was that load late, Phil? No, you pick up the phone ahead of time. Hey, man, I'm cut. Yeah, this is my driver, blah, blah, blah. I'm on this route number. Yeah, Hey, I know you don't monitor all the traffic, so I'm letting you know I'm caught in a major accident here, and we're not moving. And I had plenty of time, but I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and I don't think I'm going to make the load on time. Communicate, right, before it happens. And work safe, right? If there's something that's going to prevent you from being able to work safe, you need to let them know ahead of time, before you get hurt, before you back into something that you saw and you saw, that's pretty bad. I should report that. Yeah, you should, right? So communicate. Work safe, drive safe, deliver loads on time, and communicate when those 2 things can't happen. Pretty simple things. That's all Walmart wants. It's what I think any company wants. Work safe. If you're a driver, drive safe. Communicate when things can't happen, right? All right. I'm going to end this video now, but it's been a long, quick ride, almost 4 years. It flew by. I can't believe it's been almost 4 years already. And I want to thank all you guys. I mean, I know I picked up some new subscribers while I was over on that other platform, but thank you guys for watching my stuff. You guys can still go over to TikTok. They're back in service, but I'm still going to do both, okay? I want to give you guys some content, longer form content, stuff like that, and then upload some of the videos that I do while driving and backing and stuff like that. Hope you enjoy. Let me know in the comments, would you?